President Trump. Come on. James Comey's no longer, he was fired. One of the things I want to cover real quick is how do you get into the Bureau? How do you become an agent? So there's basic requirements. One of them is a full minimum of a 4-year degree and 3 years of relevant work experience. Meaning you can't work at Starbucks and have a bachelor's degree in English. Okay. So if you want to go get a bachelor's degree in English and work as a teacher or something like that, that counts. There's about 5 or 6 different categories when you apply on how you fall in. Law degree is one. If you have a JD, you fall into that bucket. Accounting, if you're a CPA. Language, specialty language. Arabic is huge right now. Computer science and technology, which is kind of falls into the STEM program. You guys know all about that. And then everybody else falls under what's called diversified. So we have people on my squad in Riverside that have English degrees that work as attorneys. We have people that have criminal justice degrees that work as parole agents. Lawyers, accountants, you name it, and so you would test under the diversified bucket. There's one more that's reserved for our special forces guys that's tactical. So if you have any kind of tactical skills, or your Delta Force SEAL team or whatever like that, you can come in under that bucket. They assign you to that bucket, and then you're competitive within that bucket. Meaning that like in my academy class, there was 37 of us, and there was probably like 3 accountants and 3 cops and 3 attorneys, and you name it, and that's how it kind of works, and you get competitive based on that. So basic qualification, U.S. citizen, 23 to 37 years old. 23 because you have to have a 4-year degree, and you have to have 3 years relevant work experience. That's waived if you have an advanced degree, so if you have a JD or an MBA, you can get in after 1 year. Good physical health, 3 years professional work experience, we talked about it. And then the big one, guys, is no criminal history. This is where we lose all of our good candidates, and it's mostly for the drug policy, actually. And I know California has legalized recreational marijuana. The federal government does not recognize it as being legal. Okay, so I'm going to read you the current drug policy as it states, and this is where we lose people all the time. And this is for any job within the FBI, not just special agent. So currently, if you answer yes to any of these questions, you're disqualified from employment with the Bureau. Have you used marijuana at all within the last 3 years? If you answer yes, you're out. 3 years from the date of your application. Okay? Have you used any other illegal drug, including anabolic steroids, at all in the past 10 years? If you answer yes to that question, you're out. Have you ever sold, distributed, manufactured, or transported any illegal drug? You're out. Have you ever used any prescription drug or used any legally obtainable substance in a manner for which it was not intended within the past 3 years? You're out. Using somebody else's oxy, somebody else's Xanax. You're out. Okay? This is where we lose all of our good candidates, is in the drug policy, and then also in the background check, because there's a significant background check. I applied for the Bureau in, I think it was September of 2004. I didn't get my call for the first phase until January 2005, and I didn't leave for the academy until June of 2006. So it was almost 2 years from the date I put an application in to get hired. So just to give you an idea. Quick overview of the process. You do an online application. Once you do an online application, it's called an SF-86. You'll get contacted for what's called phase 1. It's basically a written test. You pass phase 1. You do phase 2, which is a panel interview. You sit in front of 3 agents like myself, kind of in a room like this, and we ask you 14 questions. And we rate you based on those 14 answers. And you either get through or you don't get through. Okay? Then you do you do a little bit more of the background information. You do a polygraph exam. You do a background. The background is where they come and talk to your high school professors. They go talk to your college professors. They talk to your neighbors. They talk to everybody. And then a physical exam, PT test, medical exam, and then the academy. Okay? So, academy is 21 weeks currently in Quantico, Virginia, on the U.S. Marine Corps base there at Quantico. It sucks. Live in Quantico, you live in dorm settings for 5 months. And they've changed the academy a little bit since I've been over there, but there's, lots of firearms training, lots of physical training, some fighting, some ground fighting, some boxing, a lot of running. And then academy classes, you're learning about investigative techniques and a little bit of legal, and they don't expect you to be lawyers, but they expect you to understand enough about the law to where you don't violate some of the civil rights. So what happens? You go to the academy, you get out, and they assign you to a field office. You rank your field office selections 1 through 56, and then, this is probably not PC in this world, but we call it the drunk monkey, right? So you feel like somebody's sitting in there throwing darts on where you go. I had a classmate that was from Tampa that got assigned to Honolulu, and I had a classmate from San Diego that got assigned to Tampa. Makes no sense, okay? So once you get your first assignment, you're there. You're there for a minimum of 3 years. And then after you're there, you can put your name on a seniority list, and it's called an office of preference transfer, and you get one of those in your career. They'll move you to a field office. So if you're in LA and you really hate LA, because you know there's 800 of us here and 600 don't want to be here, you want to go to Denver, in 20 years you'll get to Denver. Okay? Because Denver's not a big field office. You know, there's about 800 agents in LA. Denver has about 250. Denver covers Montana and Wyoming as well. Denver field office, okay?